justice for her murdered father. She is furious about a plea deal for the people accused of hog-tying Ken Allen in his Franklin County home. Kaya Edwards explains why the prosecutor is offering involuntary manslaughter charges, not murder charges. And the plea deal would mean more time behind bars for burglary charges than for involuntary manslaughter. This Friday, a judge will either accept or reject that deal. Allen's family members are strongly encouraging him to reject it. November 3rd last year, Kathy Allen's mom called with heartbreaking news.
She was in hysterics crying, saying, "Dad is dead."
Ken Allen's body was found face down and hogtied inside his Washington, Missouri home.
His feet and hands were bound behind his back.
The house was a mess and items were missing. By February, 3 people were charged with first-degree burglary and second-degree murder.
So of course, I want justice.
But in August, Allen learned prosecuting attorney Robert Parks is proposing a plea deal.
That they will plead guilty to first-degree burglary, for which they will serve 10 years.
And plead guilty to involuntary manslaughter, not murder,
for which they will serve 7 years, and these sentences are to be served concurrently.
Allen and her family members are furious.
They serve less years for killing my dad than for the burglary. He's proposed something that makes total light of my father's death.
Parks tells 5 on Your Side, "I am sorry that the family of Ken Allen does not agree with my handling of this case. As the prosecuting attorney of Franklin County, it is my duty to see that justice is done in every case. I believe the agreement for which 2 of the 3 defendants have pled guilty and will be sentenced on Friday, October 20th, is the best for all parties."
I want the judge to reject this plea deal because the charge of involuntary manslaughter does not fit the crime.
The hearing is scheduled for 2 p.m. Friday at the courthouse in Union. Allen says protesters are planning to gather there at noon.
I got a loud mouth, so I'll be getting loud.
Good. Sing it. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Kathy.
This is a good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I understand.
Okay, but the other guy is supposed to be.
I'd like to get a question in.
Yes.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
So I would like to ask what you told us last month about the accusations against my dad for pedophilia. You know, I no longer have my dad here to ask him what is this with these accusations. Will you tell me what is the root of these accusations against my dad?
Several young boys that have come forward. We've had an investigation on going for 18 months, 2 years before this.
And when you say young boys, are they younger than 17?
Anywhere from 20 years and younger, up to 14 or 15. That he was providing money for them to go and buy drugs. He was just allowing them to come to his house and do the drugs in his house.
And that is their accusation, though.
That is the reason why we never went forward to it, because every time one of these guys would come forward, your dad would come back, get him back in, give them more money to go get heroin and something, and then they didn't want to.
Well, I do know that my dad gave money to people all my life. I mean, and I speak for my own, belief and knowing my dad. I mean, I don't believe that he knowingly gave it to them, money to them to buy drugs, but he was always helping people.
Even before he died, you had allegations against him that he was feeding monies to these kids to go get drugs?
Yes.
Why didn't you charge him with something before he died?
Well, because we could never get one of these people to come forward to testify against him. Every time they come through and they tell us something, then when we get ready to go do something, they'd gone back to him, they'd gotten back on their drugs, and they didn't want to cut off their supply. So we never were able to obtain a witness that we could get into rehab or something like that, get them off the drugs long enough for them to testify for us.
Did you ever question Mr. Allen on these allegations before he died, obviously?
I didn't. I'm sure he was questioned about it.
It just seems strange. He's got a lawsuit that he filed, yet you've got allegations against him for drug abuse, plus other things. And the two never got together as far as bringing him in and questioning him on that.
Now, I don't know if he was never questioned. I cannot answer that. But
when will we be able to get the reports and the documentation and so on for that investigation?
As soon as we get the third guy pled, then we will release everything that we have to you.
Including the investigation into my dad on pedophilia.
If whatever the sheriff's office has got, I'll have them release it to you. But I can't do anything until the third guy pleads.
And the sheriff's office was the one who did the investigation as opposed to
the narcotics unit.
Yeah. Okay, he'll make those available to us without any kind of a warrant.
Whatever they've got, I'll make available to you after the third guy is taken care of.
And in addition, everything from this case, like the tape from the security camera footage.
Yeah. I don't know if we can give you the actual one, but we can have a copy made because we have to keep our stuff ready in case there would be.
As long as I have the data.
Yeah. Okay.
The question I asked him was obvious and apparent, at least to me. I can't imagine whatever allegations they had against your dad before he died, obviously, that they did not pull him into an investigation room and ask him questions about these events. You know, I mean, it's an ongoing investigation. That's one of the first things they do. And to hear him talk, he had enough evidence that he could go forward on a charge against your dad, but he never did. And that's very strange in my career.
And it's
apparently he must have known. If your dad was guilty, as he says, then your dad probably knew that there was an investigation ongoing.
And he sued him back.
Didn't slow your dad down for committing these acts, vile acts, as we know them to be. It's just a thought on my part.
All right. Western North County Division of Voice Now Session, Honorable Judge Gail Wood presiding. I don't want any outbursts today.
Anybody making an unnecessary sound will be removed from the podium. We're going to send this out, please. And I'm going to do a vote. If each of you would go to one podium with your client, Mr. Barkeeper remains counsel for this. Regarding the record 2 files, both style, first is 17AB-CR00659, style State of Missouri versus Whitney Don Robbins. In that case, the state is represented by prosecuting attorney Robert Parks, defending the president in person, and with the attorney Mr. Ken Heinlein. We're also calling case number 16AB-CR02348-01, State of Missouri versus Timothy D. Wanish. The state is represented again by Mr. Parks, defendant president in person, and with attorney Jessica Hoskins. These matters are on today for potential sentencing. Pleas were previously entered, which I did not accept pending receipt of the SAR. And having reviewed the SARs, the court has determined to reject the pleas The court found it to be too lenient, and I'm not going to accept it. The permitting defendant to withdraw their plea if they so choose. As well, for a total of 5 cases. All 5 cases were passed to November 14th for trial setting. That'll be the order of court today.
Your Honor, will there be a new judge?
No, not yet. Not recusing. We'll see what happens as we go forward.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would ask that the court recuse itself on these 2 cases, especially since this is the last official hearing.
Well, I'm not going to recuse yet, so request denied. That'll conclude today's record. Court's adjourned.
All right.
Folks, if we could.
We're going to head on out here.
Follow the officers.
Did everybody drink it? We got to take.
Hallelujah, sister.
And, you know, and now the road is longer.
Yeah.
But better road.
So he rejected him.
Well, he rejected. He wasn't going to, he told him he wasn't going to allow them to plead and get what they could have gotten.
Yeah.
They didn't want to just let it go after the judge to make that final decision. So it's set for trial.
On November 14th.
Well, it's set for a trial setting on that date.
I miss my dad.
Tell me God isn't alive.
Kenny? Where's Kenny?
I don't know, but I'm Joanne.
Hi. You work for Hank's wedding?
I do.
I just saw Hank outside. Yeah.
Well, Hank is...
He's afraid to get mad.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
What he said, I'm not going to take it. I just grabbed a shirt.
I do this.
Have the elevation.
Okay. My lipstick on me.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Spanish. He's from Channel 2. On your ear.
Okay.
Kathy?
Kathy, we haven't met. I'm Samantha Wacker. I used to work in the office. I know how you were treated. I'm sorry you were treated that way. Thank you for having the courage to speak up.
Right. Anything can go.
I gotta go talk to the cameras before they leave. They're what? Gone? Well, I don't know.
Are they still there?
I'm gonna exit.
Relief. Tell them what you think, honey. Get your guys in her nail. Got it, girl.
Kathy?
Hi.
What were your thoughts and feelings when you heard the judge reject the deal?
Extreme relief. I mean, I can't say joy because my dad is no less dead, and we still suffer the trauma of his murder, and we suffer the trauma of this plea deal that was attempted. But in the moment, I'm feeling such relief that I'm going to go ahead and smile and let those feelings roll.
So this means, though, there will be a trial. Will you be up there testifying? What's going to happen, do you think?
It's actually, there may not be a trial. It's all still wait and see. I mean, I think the prosecutor could still offer another kind of plea. And then we'll have to go through those legal machinations again.
But your hope is that it doesn't there's not another plea deal that you will go to trial.
Yes, it'd be lovely if they would go ahead and plead guilty to second-degree murder and get that over with. Beyond that, yes, we need to go to trial, and I want to find the truth of what happened and sentence them accordingly.
The prosecutor said that the protest, the judge told him the protest did not influence his decision. Do you think it had an impact?
Yes. It's their job to say that. But I'm so happy that I took the risk of putting out there my family's most private things of this trauma, and people have responded with such support and love. I'm overwhelmed by it.
Can you explain to us why there were 2 of 3 defendants that were dealing with this plea deal and not all 3?
Yeah. Well, on May 2nd, this Judge Wood, during a plea reduction hearing for Blake Schindler, this judge chose to let him out on his own recognizance, and he did not have to pay a penny of his $200,000 bond. I do not understand why the judge did this, because this man is charged with murder. And that is why he's not here today to accept this plea that he was offered.
How's your mom doing?
It's hard for her every day. Yeah, it's very hard.
Was she here?
She was here.
What was her reaction then too?
I heard her give a gasp, and I heard her start to cry quietly. With her 93-year-old mother sitting next to her, my grandma, they were both crying when I turned around to look at them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for paying attention. I appreciate it. High fives, anybody?
The prosecutor said the judge told him in chambers that this did not have any impact on him, but I got to believe it's rare that a judge ever says no to a plea deal, and it's probably pretty rare that they ever see this kind of show of support for a victim and for justice and standing up against a plea deal. It's a rare sort of thing.
I wonder, is it less rare in St. Louis County? I would believe it's certainly rare in Franklin County. I mean, this doesn't happen this often in this county.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you just one last one-on-one?
Thank you.
So I asked the prosecuting attorney just now if the reason for his plea deal had anything to do with your father's past, and he said no. What's your reaction to that, considering you have a video? And this might be for later, just so you know.
Sure. Given what Mr. Parks has said to me, it is not true that this does not have anything to do with my father's past. Are there too many double negatives in there?
Well, I mean, is he lying, or why would he say no, or what do you think of him saying no? That it doesn't have anything to do with his past when he's told you otherwise?
I'm not going to use the L word,
Okay.
I want to slander him.
Right.
I think what the question was and how to say it. All I know is what Bob Parks told us at the last hearing in September, and today, just before the hearing, this does have to do with accusations of my dad's past. He told us that.
Okay. He was saying to us just now that it was lack of evidence, which he hadn't said to me before.
Wow. Yeah, he did. Don't put. I mean, you can film it, but what planet? What planet are you from? It's just it's incredible. Hi.
Did you tell him?
Look at my jaws.
Ate the cabbage?
What?
Did you tell him what hog ate the cabbage?
No.
On TV? You were being interviewed, wasn't you?
Yeah, hog. I'm gonna get a drink. Sorry. I'm gonna get a drink first.
You never heard that before.
No, I want to hear. I just gotta pay attention though.
You didn't tell him. Tell him what hog ate the cabbage.
What hog did eat the cabbage? Bob Parks?
You did.
What does that mean?
You got him.
I I got it.
Which hog ate the cabbage? Got it. Which hog got it?
So that's the same. That's the same from down home.
Oh yeah.
Which hog got the cabbage?
Probably great grandpa.
Ooh, can I get a shot of Four Roses and a Budweiser, please? Yeah, it's like the fog decided to follow us from San Francisco. We call the fog Carl. I don't know why.
Carl the Fog.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, everything's got a name. Hurricane.
I was hoping that Hurricane Kenny would come.
Oh, me too. I think it'd be great.